Okay, my name's Debra. A lot of my little kids like to call me DJ. I've been a Casa volunteer serving LaGrange County for about 2.5 years. During that time, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to serve about 13 children, and we've closed 5 cases. I'm married for about, 29 years. We have raised 3 sons together. We have a wonderful daughter by marriage and 2 fabulous grandchildren that keep us really busy. Some of my hobbies would be, I've got so many, so I'll just name a few. I have a love for books, family, of course, art, flowers, traveling, and of course, doing some crafts with my granddaughter. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Okay. Are you currently working right now?
I am very busy. My husband's travels for work a lot. So I am not currently working other than with him. We travel quite a bit. Certain times a year we're gone a lot traveling, meeting with clients and things. So I would say that I don't get paid for my position, but but we are gone. We're very active and we are gone a lot. So
yes, I know you are constantly like, I have this meeting and that meeting and I will get this in somewhere.
Yeah, we're on the go a lot.
Busy. And spending time with those grandbabies. You got to get that time in.
Of course, I'm in Texas quite often.
Yes. Okay, so what does it mean to you to be a Casa advocate?
Wow. To be a Casa advocate, I have a heart for kids. It's an easy question, but it's kind of, I don't know. When I got involved as a Casa volunteer, I felt the sense of hope. Hope and accomplishment, and that comes from knowing that you are working to make things better for a child. That's just a really big deal to me. So
yes, thank you for sharing that. It's a very big job, and I think it comes with a sense of hope for us because we are working sometimes with families that have no hope, and when we can get involved with them and be their voice and be their advocate.
Right. These children see so many different faces and people that, when you're a Casa, you're involved with them from the beginning. And that's a really big deal. I've had so many cases where, we've been through 3 cases, and I was actually the only person that was there. I knew their story. And when people came in and tried to maybe change the story a little bit, I knew the story. So it's just really important that we are their voice of hope. So
yes, awesome. So what is your favorite moment or your favorite success of being a Casa volunteer? And this could be just one small thing that happened, or it could be the whole outcome of a case.
Right. I would say my favorite moment being a Casa volunteer would be probably my very first case. I remember reading over the case, and is a little boy. So I raised 3 boys. I'm like, oh, no problem. I got this, right? It's not going to be a problem. So I went in. We've had great training through Casa. So I felt very confident. I had a lot of different emotions on my first case. But I was confident. I knew what I was doing, but I was also very nervous because it was my first case. I remember going in and meeting the little guy for the first time, and he had been through a lot. And you just don't really realize that until you meet them and get to know them. And this particular case, he was tough. He was tough. He was very emotional, had outbursts. His parents were in jail. So when I went, probably my 3rd or 4th visit, he's very standoffish with me at first. But then probably my 3rd or 4th visit, he almost knocked me over when I came in the back door. He was so excited to see me and gave me a big hug, was so excited to tell me about his school day. So we went in and he had to show me that he got an award from school for perfect attendance, and he got an A on his report card. And he was so excited to share that with me. And I think at that moment in time, I knew how special I was and how special the Casa program really is. So
I love that story. That is so sweet. And I think it's important to note too that doing 3 or 4 visits, that means 3 or 4 months that have gone by that you're building rapport with this little kiddo. And then you have your
right.
through moment where, so it's not just, you know, you saw him every week, you know, for a few weeks. It was like, this was months that it takes for them to trust and to be able to be open with us. So
And they look forward to you coming and seeing them again.
And yeah, and I think the kids, because it's our goal to share with them, you know, we're here for you. This is our job, is to just, you know, be here and advocate for you. And I think when kids, depending on their age, but when they hear that and they know, like, this person's coming for me, because they could have other kids in the home, foster kids, or the biological, whatever the case may be. But when you're coming just to see them, they get so excited because it's not always about them. Yeah, very cool. Would you tell someone considering being a volunteer?
Do it. Just do it. I got a little story. Back in the 90s, I actually tore out an article, a Casa. It was promoting Casa and talking a little bit about it. And I've kept that. I still have it. So I knew one day that I would probably check out, but my boys were young at the time. So I thought, you know, someday I might check this out. Well, a few years had gone by and someone approached me, a neighbor, and she's like, you know, you'd be a really good Casa advocate. And I'm like, you know, can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I'm interested. So she did. She told me a little bit about it. And I thought, you know, when my boys get older, I would do that and get more involved. Well, now my boys are gone. They've graduated and out of the house. And I got involved with Casa a couple of years ago. Well, I would have done it sooner. I didn't realize that's my only regret, is that I should have done it when my neighbor came to my door, because there's just so much gratitude. It's such a great feeling. It brings, I think, more value to your home life, your family, because you don't realize, I didn't realize what was out there and some of these kids and how much they need you. And I just think it's, I wish I would have done it sooner. So.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Debra. And I love that from the 90s, you had an article that you were just hanging on to because you knew.
I still look at it and I'm like, wow, yeah, I should have done this back in the 90s.
That's super neat. One thing people need to know about what we do as Casas.
Wow. What we do as a Casa, we are a child's voice of hope. We bring that hope. We're part of a solution. And it's really, I mean, it's what we do. You know, you're presenting a case in court and you're speaking for them. And it's so important. It's so important that their voices are heard over everybody else's, you know.
Yes, absolutely. And for anyone that hasn't been in the courtroom for one of these cases, everyone is represented. Everyone has a voice. So yeah, definitely being that child's voice. That is our only goal, to be there and to make their needs known.